can never work this out whether I've got a silhouette of the GoPro on me or not. I don't like it when there is, but the screen's too small to tell, but sorry if there is. Well, welcome everyone to what's going to be a wild and extremely stealthy camp. It's got to be extremely stealthy because it's 2 days until what we call in this part of the world the glorious 12th. If you haven't heard about that, then just Google it. But in essence, the keepers and land managers that tend all this moor above where I live are on high alert for people, well, I'll say like me. They don't know me, they don't know that I'll be very stealthy. I'll respect where I choose to camp, and I'll leave absolutely no trace, and I won't make any chance of there being an out of control fire. But I can understand it, you know, they've got to make a living, and there are a lot of people that don't respect the land. But yeah, one thing I haven't done for as long as I can remember is a camp where I leave my front door on foot, walk to the chosen site, camp, and then walk back. It's going to be about an 8-mile walk in all, just like 4 miles this evening and 4 miles tomorrow. Not far. A lot of climb. I'm going to begin to climb very soon up to a crag in front of me here, which has got a wood running down into the valley. And once I've got up there, that's where I did a bivvy camp actually, at the beginning of my sort of YouTube career. I don't know, what do you call it? And some people coming, stand by. A group of people there enjoying themselves, but don't want to see a mad idiot talking into a camera. So where was I? Oh yeah, beginning of my YouTube career, I did a bivvy camp up here, which was great fun, really, really cold. And so I'm going past that spot. I'll put the link to that up in the corner, past that spot and into what is I'm not sure how widely known this phrase is, but we call them gills here, which basically is spelled G-Y-H-L-L, yeah, I think so, or G-H-Y-L-L. God, my head, it's been quite a climb already. Put it up there. But they're basically very small V-shaped valleys, usually with at least a trickle of a stream in the bottom. And I know this one from when I used to, well I still do, but when I come sort of fell running up here, I thought that would be a good spot to have a camp one day. So here I am, just beginning the initial quite steep climb now up to a spot height, and once we're there I'll chat to you again. Oh gosh, sorry. You get it real here, don't you? Anyway, let's begin the climb. Don't know if you saw me grimacing there with that little walk by the camera using the 360 camera. I gave a little wince. I've been plagued with injuries the last 4 weeks. I've pulled my left calf, and my physio's been saying to rest it and just stretch. And my right knee keeps swelling up to the size of a grapefruit. And it gave a big twinge then, so I'm going to get these trekking poles extended, negotiate this boggy bit, and get myself up the hill and then do filming. I'm having a rest. You know what my problem is? And I'm a bloody idiot. Everything I do is like I'm in a competition, and it's great to be competitive. It's great to have high standards, and it's great to be healthy. You know, I'm 56, and I think I'm pretty healthy for my age. But I will never be as fit as I was when I did Ironman back in October, and every time I go and do a bit of exercise, I'm thinking that's slower than I was, just before the Ironman. Well, of course it's slower than it was. You know, I was the fittest I've ever been since my early 20s, and I'm really proud. It seems like an angry sort of piece to camera this, but it's a frustrated bit, because I've got to have a word with myself, and you should have a word with me in the comments below. Give me a good telling off. I've come up that hill, and it's a good steep hill. I'm carrying a load of gear, and I'm just thinking, not fast enough. Get a move on. There's no rush. There's plenty of daylight. There's plenty of time. You know, it's beautiful. Enjoy the surroundings. So there's the crag that I run up a lot. And come on, Richard, relax. I was just powering, and look at me. Yeah, that's just soaking. There's no need for this constant sort of personal attack on myself. And I'd enjoy it a lot more. I do enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but there's just something not good enough, it's just pounding in my head. And it's from that Ironman training, and I never was going to be good enough until I did it, and I did it. It wasn't pretty, but I completed it, and I'm proud of it, and I should think I did that. I'm still healthy, I'm still fit, and I'm lucky. I'm lucky where I live, I'm lucky with what I've got, and I should just get on with it now at my own pace. So, Richard, have a word with yourself. Now will you just look at that. I'd forgotten that sort of mid-August onwards the heather comes out in its full bloom, and as I crested that first sort of peak onto the moor there, it just took my breath away. Yeah, there's few sights like good old North Yorkshire moorland when the heather's out in its best colours, that just, as I say, it took my breath away. I just, off camera, I just went, oh, wow. And the good thing is, I don't know, I just had such a busy old time. I'd forgotten about the heather. I always make, oh, look at that sweat coming off there. I always make it the purposes of one of my walks up here to come and take the heather in on a sunny day, and it was kind of a surprise to me, stupidly, but it was a really lovely surprise. Right, just, I know you've got the GoPro in there, but there's me, hi. Look at that, just look at that, yes. Let's have a look over the wall, see what's happening. A bit into sun, but see what we got. Oh, there we are. Right. Well, look at this. What about that? I don't know if many of you remember the film Calendar Girls. Well, it was filmed very near here, actually, in the Wharf Valley, which is over over the drop over the moor there. But in the distance, and hopefully I'll get a better view of it tomorrow. But on the top of the crags is a cross, a memorial cross, and I'll try and put a little cutaway to it. I hope I don't get copyrighted, but they were all doing this sort of yoga tai chi on the top just by that cross in one of the scenes, and I think it was either Helen Mirren or Julie Walters said, "Oh, sod this, let's go and get a bag of chips." or words similar to that. I remember it was one of my favourite bits because I remember that cross very well. I see it most days, and it was good to just sort of know that they were filming so close. Time for a look at the back catalogue. That's a scene of this early YouTube video of mine. The light is fading and I have good reason. I've crashed my drone. I was stupidly flying it quite close to some pines, but then flew it over the valley, presuming that the trees would be descending. But obviously there were a couple that were higher than the ones at the top of the crag. The good news is I can see it, and I've been in contact with my good friend Peter, who's a tree surgeon, and he's gonna try his best. It's I think it's about 60 feet up, not 60, 30 feet up, and he's got all the equipment, but my sort of remote location makes it a little bit difficult. So I'm hoping that he'll be able to meet me here tomorrow. If you've seen some brilliant drone shots in the video up to now, then I found it. If not, then it's the drone insurance, I'm afraid. What a shame. Anyway, that's my little gill I'm making my way into, and keep smiling. This will do me nicely. Tent of choice, the Gossamer Gear The One. Weighs nothing, trekking pole tent. I'll get this up. There we go. Sorry Hazy, stealing your thunder. So, remembering the first of the 4 principles of survival, let's get on with it. Bushcraft towel. Being eaten alive, I'm covered in smidge, but I've got my Thermarest Neo Air Light with summer airbed, and I'm just going to pump that up with my flex tail gear. Great, this flex tail gear pump, but when you've got cold hands, trying to get this bit on like that, it's near on impossible. There's a Thermarest Neo Air X Light. Can you see these midges? Right, they're very close to me, but they're not making contact because I'm absolutely caked in smidge. top tip with air beds, always blow them up harder than you think you want them. It's much easier to get on them and think, oh yeah, it's a little bit hard, and let out a bit of air than it is to find out it's underinflated and then have to get off it, put a few more puffs of air in there, just overdo it and then just eke out a little bit of air if you need it. And this is my lightened equipment quilt. I use it for summer and winter. Being a quilt, you can just throw it off yourself if you get too hot, or wrap it snugly around you if it's cold. Works to -6 degrees Celsius. That's perfect for me. I'll just come and have a quick look in here before I close up. I've got my Decathlon pillow and a Neo Air X Lite airbed and that enlightened equipment quilt, all I need. I'm going to dangle a lantern from the top when the midges are back in and I can see my battery's dying on this GoPro, so I'll replace the battery and seal up and get on with just sorting out the camp a bit better. Right, well the light's fading a little bit. I've had to put my internet on. Unfortunately I hate the restrictions that it gives me, but I'll show you a couple of things that I've got with me tonight. I'm using my, it's all simple stuff tonight, it's just a get out and go sort of camp. Got my Soto, what's it called? Can't remember. Little Soto. I think it's about the lightest weight one they do. It's absolutely fantastic. Got a great little spread of pot support, and the flame spread is brilliant and very wind resistant. Although there's no wind tonight, as you can see by these midges. I've reviewed this before. It's the Soto cooking system. It's let's have a look in here. All very good. It's got, that's a pot cozy in there. I've used it a lot, as you can see, which is great. 2 cups. And I've got that to stop it banging, and then this inner cup is insulated, so you put your, it's got a pot holder as well, coffee or tea in there, and it's got this double wall insulation, which is fantastic. And I'm going to very shortly make myself a cup of tea. Bigger pot, nice and easy. It's got a lid as well. I'm going to boil some water for my meal in that. The anti-rattle there. One utensil, my titanium Wild Camping International, big plug because I love them. Titanium, a midge-filled enamel, metal cup. I've got my Wandering Chef. Look him up in on Instagram, UK seller, and he's brilliant. I'm going to probably try that, but main event is some pad thai, backpackers pantry. Tomorrow morning, some granola, blueberries freeze dried, and I'm going to get some wild blueberries shortly, or probably get them in the morning. And just as a snack, I've got this trail mix, which I love. I get it in the States from a little kind of specialised supermarket called Trader Joe's, which I really like, despite the queues to pay. One of these recyclable, reusable bags. Just got my cook kit. Tea bags, you can see the milk, hot chocolate for later, and of course Ginger's Cornish tea. Little neck knife, that's all I'm using, and my flint and steel, I think that's from Bigfoot Bushcraft, which I'm just going to use to light my stove. That's the lot. Time for a cuppa. I've got my Soto stove. I still can't remember. God, these midges. Still can't remember the actual model name, but there you go. Power of editing, post-production. Forgot it's got its own. Oh, silly me. completely forgot. Well, it's only ignited, didn't even need the flint and steel. You know, I'm sadly going to have to not use my Wild Camping International Cup tonight because, and the reason is, this has got a lid and the midges are still out in force. So, sorry. The thought was there. The midges are still out, but they're dying down gradually. He says. Just gonna put a bit more smidge on myself, I think. Well, having pad thai tonight, and that's what it looks like. And there's a little sachet of peanuts which were inside, and a sachet of peanut butter, and it says to put the peanut butter in and then 420 millilitres of water. Ugh. Oh, by the way, the puppy's doing well.
He likes a beat.
Don't know what reminded me of her. And in goes the water. Anyway, it says to give it a stir, as I've just done, seal it up and wait. Dun, dun, dun. 8 minutes, stir again and wait for another 7. God, long old process. So, Backpacker's Pantry, I got it in Portland actually, in Oregon. And here we go. Let's see. That's a pad thai. Gosh, spicy. I mean, it's not what you'd get on the street food in Bangkok, but it's a freeze-dried meal, and I'm out camping and I'm eating pad thai. And it's really delicious. Well done. And a huge portion. It's for 2. I'll see how I do. Well, I've got this to eat and a very squashed double-decker, and I'll get in the tent. I got a little bit of tidying up to do and get myself sorted out, finish this, and I'll speak to you from the tent. Well, I'm in the tent, and that was a delicious meal. The trouble with it was, and I love spicy food, but it was very spicy and really rich, which is good. I probably would have enjoyed it more in the winter, as a kind of winter warmer. It's probably my fault for eating too late. You know, sensibly I should have eaten at, well, much earlier, but I spent 2 hours on hunting my drone, which is still up the tree, which I'm very worried about. Nevertheless, I've got company inside the tent. I think quite a few midges got in when I was thinking I was being really swift getting in, but there you go, so I'll turn the light off soon. But anyway, great to be out, and I hope you've enjoyed the video so far, and I'll speak to you in the morning. Well, good morning. Very different day. There's so much condensation in the tent that whenever it rattles with the wind, I'm getting a serious shower. Yeah, it wasn't a great night. It was a hell of a slope. Just continuously just recovering myself, so I wasn't going to fall in the stream. I've just had a double decker to cheer myself up. Nothing wrong, and I just couldn't stop thinking about that drone out all night. It was raining quite hard at times, which was very unexpected. It certainly wasn't on the forecast. Hopefully it's not got too much. Hopefully the rest of the canopy of the forest is keeping it reasonably dry. It can take a good shower, the drone, so we'll just see what happens with that today. But it's 5:45. I'll get myself going. What I'm going to do first is just have a little bit of a pack up, get the tent dropped, and then have some breakfast. Just don't want any over keen keepers to be looking over the top of the gill and having a word with me. The blueberries in there. I'll take my fresh ones in. Not many, but please. There goes my water. That's me done here, left. Absolutely no trace. That's where the tent was. That's where I was cooking. No litter. I'll go and try and find that drone. Well, I know where it is. I'll try and get the drone down. Best we never talk about how I got that. I'll never do it again, I promise. But it just was too tempting, and it just looked like a little stepping ladder. I've got it. Let's say no more. It's just got a few marks on it. You know, just tree, just the greenery you get off the bark of a tree. I give it a little clean up with some white spirit, and it'll be good to go. I'm going to just fire it up now. Thought that was a crack, but it's just a little hair on the lens. I'm very happy. That's just a great ending to what was a brilliant trip anyway, but I didn't sleep a wink worrying about that drone, and what an adventure. I went and got it. I've just flown it. It's got tiny little nick out of one of the propellers. It's got a little bit of marking from the tree, but the expensive things on it, like the gimbal and the camera, are all working perfectly, and it's flying just right. So I'm going to give it a little clean, and a perfect ending to the most perfect camp. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. I'll have a celebrationary blue rib with you. Delicious. Thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe to these videos. It's great to have you along, and good to get some more subscribers. But comments are good, and thumbs up are really important. I love reading the comments. I read them all, and I try to at least acknowledge that I've read it with, you know, with one of those little hearts, or I'll try and write something. So please write comments. I'm always interested to hear your views and what you've been up to and so on. So take care, and I look forward to seeing you again.